I want to talk about where we travel with Rocco, my service dog, because this is something we've been very intentional about over the years. This isn't about rules or rights or what about anybody else should do. It's just about how we make decisions. Rocco supports my health in very specific ways, and because of that, travel is never casual for us. We don't start with a destination and then try to force it to work. We start by asking whether the environment in itself makes sense for him and for me. We've traveled quite a bit within the United States, and we've also traveled internationally. Some places have worked very smoothly. The pace felt manageable, expectations were clear, and Rocco could stay calm and settled. Those are the trips where I'm actually able to be present and enjoy where we are instead of constantly managing stress. Other places require more restraint. Even when something sounded appealing, we asked ourselves whether the reality of the trip would match the experience we wanted to have. And sometimes that answer was no. The UK is a good example of that. It's a place we would love to visit, but there are specific requirements involved with traveling there that just don't align well with our situation. They involve certifications and organizations, and I'm not going to get into the legal details here. That's not the point. The point is that when we looked at what would be required, how much ongoing management it would require, and how much of the trip would be spent navigating logistics instead of actually experiencing the destination, we decided it wasn't the right fit for us, so we didn't go. We ran into something similar in certain parts of Canada. Overall, our experience there was positive, but we learned quickly that not every region operates the same way. Some areas felt familiar and easy to navigate. Others required a level of planning and oversight that would have shifted the entire focus of the trip. When that happens, we pause. Sometimes we adjust plans, and sometimes we simply choose not to move forward. That decision isn't about avoiding responsibility, it's about choosing travel that's actually sustainable for us. Cruises are another example people ask about a lot, and for us, that's a clear no. Part of it is practical. Every port of call has its own restrictions, and there's no guarantee that you or your dog would even be able to leave the ship. If your goal is to really experience different places, and ours very much is, that alone makes cruises a poor fit. But the bigger issue for me is the environment itself. Cruises concentrate a lot of people in very tight spaces, and in my experience, they can be some of the worst settings when it comes to respecting personal space, especially for people with disabilities. I've seen people using walking boots or crutches get run into, cut off, or completely disregarded. Even though Rocco rides calmly at my feet on my scooter, that kind of environment would require a constant vigilance, and that creates unnecessary risk for him and for me. And it definitely doesn't feel enjoyable, so it's an easy decision to say no. We've also had moments, even on trips that went well overall, where we ran into friction at an airport or in a restaurant or in a situation that required us to slow down and explain. When that happens, our goal is never to argue or push. We reassess, we adjust, and sometimes we walk away. We don't travel to test boundaries. We don't travel to prove anything, and we don't assume that just because something worked once, it'll work everywhere. For us, travel is about the experience of the destination itself. What makes that place unique? If the logistics of being there would overshadow the experience, then it's not the right trip for us, no matter how appealing it sounds. That mindset has shaped where we've gone and where we haven't. We've shortened trips. We've chosen quieter places over busier ones. And we've said no to trips we wanted to take intentionally. Every trip we take is a decision, not an assumption, not a checklist. It's just how we live, thoughtfully, deliberately, and with care. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.